Hello lovely people, this week I am talking all about booktubers that I love.
Sophie Vlogs.
I'm fighting a losing battle against the sun going down, so I'm going to try and be really concise so that we're not just shrouded in darkness by the end of it. I was tagged by a journey through books, to be honest with you, a lifetime ago now, a very long time ago. I'm very sorry for taking so long, but we're here now. This was originally created by Anthony Andrews. I will leave a link to both of those people down below so you can check out their channels. I have the questions on my phone, and I'm just going to go for it. Question 1 was, who was the very first booktuber you subscribed to? I made my YouTube account in 2007. I've been here for over a decade. That's right, isn't it? Oh yeah, God, Lord, time has passed. So it's very hard for me to remember the first few people I subscribed to. I think probably the first booktubers I subscribed to was someone like Lena Norms or Jen Campbell, someone of that ilk. I'm still subscribed to both of those people because they make very good book content, but I think it's probably someone like that. Question number 2 is, who is the most recent booktuber you subscribed to? That was Hollyland Library, because they subscribed to me, and I checked out their channel, and I really like their vids. They're a very, very small channel, but I will, I'm going to link everyone I've mentioned down below, so that if anyone wants to go investigate, they can. But, hello Holly, if you're watching. I'm assuming your name is Holly, based on your channel name. I'm sorry if it's not. Question 3 was, name 3 booktubers you love / want to give a shout out to. I thought I would name, like, 3 larger booktubers and then 3 smaller booktubers, because I thought that might be quite fun. just because I want to name more people, I think. I had too many recommendations. So, on the bigger booktubers side, I really like Cece at Problems of a Book Nerd. She talks about a lot of, like, queer books and very much like covering all of the umbrella of LGBTQI+. She reads very widely in regards to that, and that's really great. I'm constantly adding books to my TBR list based on stuff that she's read and that she's liked. That's really great. I really like a Book Olive, who is excellent for non-fiction recommendations. You may be familiar with Olive already, especially if you take part in Non-Fiction November, but if I'm ever interested in picking up some new non-fiction books, I tend to have a look at Olive's channel and see what stuff she's read recently, and that's really inspiring. And then also Books and Pieces is very good for if you're into science fiction, fantasy. She reads a lot of interesting science fiction, so like she'll read older science fiction as well as newer science fiction, like some stuff that's a bit more obscure, that sort of thing. So all 3 of those channels give me a lot of book recs all the time, which is great. For smaller booktubers, my first shout out would be Jaded Reader. I just think that Jade's channel is so lovely. I love seeing her cats as a start point. But I just really like the way that Jade talks about books. Her reading vlogs are usually like super lovely. She goes to some really interesting places, and I just think that the way she speaks about books is just, I really like hearing her wrap up her reading and that sort of thing. Number 2 is A Frolic Through Fiction. Ashley's channel, the whole aesthetic of Ashley's channel is just gorgeous. You know, sometimes there are booktubers and I'm just like, I understand your aesthetic. I see things in my day-to-day life, and I'm like, this screams A Frolic Through Fiction to me, and that's just where I'm at with my life now. Also, Ashley, along with Charlotte, run the Mistake Readathon. Read-along? What's the name of the group? Mistake. I'm just going to call them Mistake, which is mythology-inspired reading, which is always really fun, so they're really great for recommendations on that front. But I just think she has an absolutely brilliant channel, and again, I really like the way she talks about books. I find her vlogs very soothing. The whole vibe is lovely, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And then thirdly is Rapacious Reads, who doesn't post that regularly, but whenever she does, I just love the way she talks about books. She's just like, sits down, have a chat, and then comes out with all of these wonderfully insightful things, and I just think she's absolutely fantastic. So those are my technically 6 booktuber recommendations for you all. Question number 4. If you could meet one booktuber right now, who would it be? I would go to an art gallery with Miriam at Between Lines and Life, because as well as being generally a very interesting book reader, Miriam is also very into art history, which I am into, and I just think going to an art gallery with her would be so much fun. And maybe we can invite Matt at MCS Books along as well. Hello to you both. Question 5 is, who's your favourite YouTuber who is not a booktuber? Once again, I have gone with two people. I really like Jessica Kellgren-Fozard. I've been watching her for over a year now, and she does, she's a ginge. Hello, love me a ginge. If you are into vintage fashion, LGBT, and specifically like LGBT history, she does a little like history videos on people from history that you might not know were LGBTQ+. Also disability info on her disabilities, and also like deafness awareness, all stuff like this. Like I just think she's really great. She has such a lovely way of like presenting videos to you and like presenting information to you, and her wife are like the most adorable, and I just think that they're lovely. So my boyfriend refers to her as the elegant lesbian because he always forgets her name, but I show him Instagrams of her all the time. And then the second one is technically kind of a booktuber, but also kind of not, and that's Holly Dunn Design. Holly Dunn Design is one of my favourite just artists in general. I think her work is, and she has said herself that her work is inspired by like pre-Raphaelite colours and patterns and stuff, which are one of my favourite art movements. But I just think her work itself is absolutely gorgeous, and I really recommend both checking out her YouTube channel because she does do book reviews and stuff like that, but also check out her shop and her goodies because they are just beautiful. Keep ordering stuff from her shop. Question number 6 is tag 14 booktubers. I get very nervous about tagging people on BookTube, which is why you might have noticed that I tend to tag the same people over and over again. And when I think about it logically, it's kind of really silly because in my head I get really nervous about tagging people in case people watch the video, see that I've tagged them, and they find it really weird because we haven't really spoken a lot. But then also, like, A, if we haven't really spoken a lot, they won't see the video, and then also B, if I get surprisingly tagged by someone who I wasn't expecting to tag me, it really makes my day. So I don't know why I have a block about it, but I do, and I get really nervous. But I have found 14 people, and I'm gonna mention them all. These are all people who I think are really great as just like a start point, as well as being lovely people who I hope will enjoy being tagged. I don't know, I'm getting all nervous again. First of all is Celia. Celia is one of the loveliest people on the planet. She has an amazing cat called Alberta, and every time I see something Moomin related, I think of her. Brews and Reviews. Cat Brews and Reviews talks a lot about science fiction, thrillers, that sort of thing. David Gemmell. I just find her taste in books really interesting. I'm trying to get into more sci-fi, and I'm finding good recs on her channel. The Lawn Gnome, not strictly books, also TV and pop culture as well, but you might like this. Miriam, Between Lines and Life, hello, I tag you in everything, you're lovely. Lost in a Bookcase, I thought you might find this fun. I think I've already tagged you in something recently, so don't worry about it if you don't want to. Per Storytime, which is formerly Shani Reads, which is Shani and Bert. I just think you guys have really great taste in books, and I'd like to find out more about your taste in booktubers. Charlie at Charles Heathcote, you tag me in a lot of things, I really appreciate it, so here is me tagging you in some things. I love your snarky humour, it is excellent. Elizabeth at Bookish North, I also tag you in everything, and I'm sorry for it. I know, I just keep doing it because I panic. Very good for non-fic, I will say that. Meg at Tome Infinity. Meg runs the most creative readathons, and I think that she's got like the most creative and wonderful brain, and I think it's absolutely fantastic, so I very much recommend her. Indecisive Readers, Bryony, I think you're making really interesting content, like your Priory of the Orange Tree video, stuff like that. I know it's still early days on your channel, but I'm very excited to see what you're going to do next. Actual Spinster, really great, like lesser known books, that sort of thing. I have got a lot of recs based on watching their videos, so that's exciting. The Book Ponderer, I just think you're absolutely lovely, and again, you read some interesting things. Made with Books, I think she found my channel first, but I think it's stuff to do with Jeanette Winterson and stuff that really got me paying attention, but very interesting. Tea Hags, I love the Tea Hags because they so strongly remind me of Witch Please, with these like just watching two people who absolutely like really like each other's company, laugh about stuff all the time and talk about great books. I think it's cracking. Read and Find Out, Shelby, again, lovely, like watching your videos. Katerina the Bookworm, and I think that that is 14. I've panicked because there's a lot of people who I've never tagged in anything before who I'm tagging now. You're probably never going to see this because I'm probably not going to tag you on Twitter because I will psych myself out of it. But suffice to say, every single person who I've mentioned in this video, I really enjoy watching their content. I think they make wonderfully interesting and lovely things, and I'm very glad that you are all existing and reading and living your lives, etc., etc. I'm going to go now. But I hope you're having a really lovely day. Also, if you are someone who I am friends with but I forgot to tag you in my deep, deep stress at tagging people, please do this. I would love to see who are the people that you watch that you love. It's always wonderful to get more recommendations and spread some bookish love. So, I'm going to go now. I'm going to stop freaking out about this stuff. And I hope you have a really nice day, and I will see you next time for something different.